previous class we have discussed on the what are the physical characteristics of wastewater. The physical characteristics of wastewater will be color, odor, temperature and turbidity and total solids. Now in today's class we will be concentrating our study on what are the chemical characteristics of wastewater. Okay, now the wastewater will be having around 11 chemical characteristics. In that it is going to have pH, chloride content and nitrogen content, fats, grease and oil, then surfactants, phenol, toxic compounds, sulfates, sulfides, H2S, dissolved oxygen, BOD and COD. Okay, now probably we will be discussing around say the 8 characteristics of chemical characteristics of wastewater in today's class, and dissolved oxygen, BOD and COD will be discussing in the next class, because these are very important aspects with regard in order to solve the problems and all. This is very important, and also it is going to carry the more weightage, right, with respect to the chemical characteristics of wastewater. Okay, now we'll discuss one by one regarding the different characteristics of chemical characteristics of wastewater. Okay, so here we are going to see first regarding the pH. Okay, in regarding pH, you already know in the from your previous semester. Okay, it is going to tell whether the wastewater is acidic or alkaline in nature. Okay, in the previous semester we have seen what is acidic, what is alkaline and what is neutral. Okay, so we already know about it. Okay, now here we will just discuss what are the different characteristics, pH characteristics of wastewater. Okay, now the first characteristics of the wastewater is pH. Okay, when the wastewater is fresh in nature, that means when fresh means when it is just released from its output point. Okay, it is normally it is going to be alkaline in nature. Normally it is going to be alkaline in nature. That means its pH value will be around 7.3 to 7.5. Anything above 7 we call it as an alkaline. So here what will happen, the fresh wastewater will have the pH in between 7.3 to 7.5. As the time passes, what is going to happen, the pH value it is going to come down, right, and due to the bacterial action, as I have told, there are some of the microbes are there in the wastewater. So due to that action, what is going to happen, the water will become acidic due to the oxidation. Okay, oxidation is nothing but it is going to consume the oxygen. However, again after the oxidation, again it is going to be alkaline. The wastewater first it will be alkaline, and then due to the bacterial action it will become acidic, and then again it is going to become alkaline in nature. Okay, so the high concentration of in wastewater is the normally the industrial wastewater will be having the higher concentration. Okay, then we will discuss regarding the second wastewater characteristics, that is chemical characteristics. It is nothing but the chloride content. Now the chloride content, it is going to come from where it is going to just get liberated is, it is going to be get liberated from the kitchen. Okay, it is going to be liberated from the kitchen, the human feces and from the urinary discharges. Okay, the human excreta, that is the human feces, it is normally it contains about 6 gram of chloride per person per day he is going to liberate. Okay, then the chloride will also come from say the ice cream plants, then meat and salting industry, and infiltration of this chloride content water adjacent to salt water, it is going to again it is going to have the high chance of giving the increasing the chloride content of the groundwater. If it is the wastewater, if it is going to infiltrate into the ground, right, due to the higher amount of chloride content, what it will have is it is going to increase the chloride content of the groundwater. Next is the ammonia. Okay, now we call it ammonia or we call it as a nitrogen. Okay, Now the presence of nitrogen, basically it is the nitrogen, right? It is going to come into water if there are the organic matter present in it. Okay, if there is an organic matter present in the wastewater, then it imparts the nitrogen content in water. Okay, the nitrogen is essential for the growth of the plants. Okay, as a biostimulant. Okay, then it is the nitrogen is having some different types of it. It is going to have the ammonia nitrogen, organic nitrogen, albuminide nitrogen, and nitrogen nitrate. Okay, sometimes you have found that there is a growth of alga on a stagnant water. It is because the increased nitrogen content of increased nitrogen content in water. So there might be growth of alga, that is the green patches you might have seen on the stagnant wastewater, that is due to the increased content of nitrogen. Next is we will see regarding the fats, grease and oils. Okay, you know about the fats, grease and oil. The fats and oil are going to be contributed from the kitchen. Okay, it is going to be contributed from kitchen. It is you are going to use the butter, lard, vegetable, meat, right, meats, and then seed, nuts and fruits. It is both together, it is going to give you the grease and your oils and fats. Now grease is going to come from garages. Okay, garages, workshop, right. Now how it is going to create a problem in the wastewater treatment plant is, if these oil, grease and your fats are there, then these are going to attract, suppose oil and grease and fat are there, it is going to attract the suspended particle which are present in water, and it is going to try to get absorbed on the edges of the your gutters, and then it is going to create an obstruction. Okay, and also it is going to create the trouble in the wastewater treatment plant. It is going to consume, it is going to attract all the suspended particle present in water, and it is going to get attached to the walls of your gutter line. Okay, so this is how it is going to create a problem. Next is we are going to see regarding the different types of surfactants. Okay, surfactants are nothing but these we normally the detergents what we are going to use, that it is going to create a problem. It is going to be discharged from bathrooms and kitchens and then washing machines. Okay, and it is going to create the foaming action. Due to the foaming action, it is going to create a problem in the wastewater treatment plant. Normally the linear alkyl benzene sulfonate, it is going to be produced. Okay, it is going to be used, and it is going to create a more troublesome, and hence it is also not biodegradable. Now what we have done is alkaline benzene sulfonate, we have replaced it with the linear alkaline sulfonates, as it is going to be biodegradable. We have replaced it. Then we will see regarding the phenols and pesticides. Okay, the phenols, and it is going to phenols, normally we use it into our industrial wastewater. If a phenol is present in the wastewater, or if it is going to be directly received into the streams, it may cause some of the serious problems. And however, if the phenol content is going to increase about 500 mg per liter, then it is going to create a problem. Pesticides and herbicides which are coming from your agricultural land, it is also going to create a problem. Okay, next is the toxic compound. Now the copper, lead, silver, chromium, arsenic, boron, right, these are very toxic to the microorganisms. Okay, it is going to create, all these are going to create the problem for the microorganisms, and it is going to create the malfunctioning in the biological treatment of the wastewater. We are going to have some of the biological treatment units, right. It is going to affect the working of all those biological treatment units whatever we are going to have into our wastewater treatment plant. So it is going to affect all the working of the biological treatment plant, such as your activated sludge process and all, it is going to affect. Okay, then some toxic anions, including the cyanides and chromates present in some of the industrial wastewater, it is going to hinder the wastewater treatment facilities, and hence the consideration should be taken care when we are going to design whenever we are going to design the biological treatment unit. We should take the consideration of all these toxic elements which are present in the wastewater. Okay, next is we will discuss regarding the sulfates, sulfides and hydrogen sulfide. Okay, now the sulfides and hydrogen sulfide, it is going to decompose and it is going to produce the hydrogen sulfide. The hydrogen sulfide is going to normally it is going to produce a very bad odor. Okay, the sulfates ion occur in the wastewater. Okay, and they also the sulfur is required for the synthesis of protein which is going to be released due to the degradation. The anaerobic bacteria is going to be more active and it is going to provide the hydrogen sulfide. The hydrogen sulfide is going to give you the bad odor. Okay, it is going to give you the bad odor. So in today's class we have discussed on what are the different chemical characteristics of wastewater. In that we have discussed on the pH, right? The pH of the wastewater, if it is fresh, it is normally it will be alkaline, and then as the time passes it becomes acidic, and then again it is going to be alkaline. The chloride will be released from kitchens, human feces, and some of the ice cream plants, meat, right? And if the chloride content is really infiltrate into the groundwater, then it is going to increase the chloride content of the groundwater. Then ammonia or nitrogen, if organic waste content is there into the wastewater, then normally we will be having the nitrogen content in it, and it is different types of nitrogen are nothing but ammonia nitrogen, organic nitrogen, albuminide, and then the nitrogen nitrate. Fats and grease and oil are released from kitchen, then bathrooms, okay, sometimes, and then again from your garages, and how it is going to create a problem, it has been explained. Surfactants, it is going to create and foaming action, and then it is going to create in the problem into the wastewater treatment plant. Phenols and pesticides, it is going to be harmful for the microorganisms which are present in the wastewater. And then the toxic compounds, copper, lead, silver, chromium, arsenic, it is going to create a problem for microorganisms which is going to affect the biological action of the treatment plant. So we should take consideration of these. Then sulfates and sulfide which are present in the wastewater, it is going to decompose and it is going to give you the bad odor. Now in the next class we will be discussing a very important aspect of your chemical characteristics, that is we will be discussing on dissolved oxygen, BOD and COD. These three are very important, right? These are very important chemical characteristics of wastewater. On this BOD and DO, we are also going to solve some of the problems. Okay, so this is very important aspect. We are going to, if we want to study the wastewater, this has to be studied in detail. So we will discuss regarding dissolved oxygen and BOD in detail in the next class. Okay, thank you.